So, like I was saying last week about eating pussy, right? That's what we were talking about, right?
I guess so. You are now.
I mean, we can get into it.
Well, me.
I could talk about that as much as I can wrestling.
Accidentally talking about whenever you go live.
Yes and no.
Accidentally.
Cum rags and.
I still say we got a market for that. I don't care what nobody says.
I do
Flag
too.
Gregory.
We can't necessarily straight up steal that one, but work if we could. If we did, we would be able to do it. No problem. Changed it around in here, bud.
Yeah, you like our new desk?
I do. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's custom built.
I didn't
Awesome.
trip off
From
the desk
fucking
until right now.
Etsy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But it
awesome.
works.
Hell yeah, dude. I like it.
Yeah.
It's massive. So much more space for activities. Where is the plug-in for that? Ah. You said this one for sure, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've told the Flag Gregory story in here, right?
I believe so, yes. That was like one of the very first times where
Live,
we got caught on
live.
But the guy sucking his dick.
Yeah.
Here, watch out for a second. Let me make sure I got it.
I am the future.
Is that what it says?
I think it says I am the future.
Yeah, I never paid attention, I guess. Close enough attention to it.
Hey,
All I know
Sam,
is that
which
they
one
say,
does this go into?
The top red. Look at I think you're look down. Like
Yeah.
on a different panel. Yeah.
Top red?
Same with me?
Yeah.
We're just learning.
Pretty soon, you won't need me.
Damn, man.
I've been around some soundboards, guys.
yeah, I'm gonna leave my shit.
You were in a
alone.
band, right?
I was.
In 1964.
In the old days. Back in 2004 through
I'm gonna plug
13.
the pro wrestling tees again. You want me to do Power Slam TV as well?
Yes,
Oh,
I have their
Band free, right?
band free on.
yeah, I was going to do it, but I don't have to. I can.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Actually, probably if I'm going to do Twigs and Soul Taco, somebody else should do Power Slam.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have an audio 30-second clip that they sent me that we could use at some later point.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't have to do it today, but
Send it when if you remind. I'll try to remind you. Send it in my email as well. Be able to plug it in places.
copy that.
I'm gonna have to
So we're going to go
remind myself what happened to TLC.
ROH Final Battle. We won't spend a lot of time on it if Murray didn't watch it. But I like being the podcast that doesn't just do WWE.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we'll do TLC second. I'll do the McMahon shakeup for better or for worse. And then we'll do odds and ends.
Bangarang. Did you get that one going, the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Comfy boys coming in after?
Yes.
Comfy boys.
They're like the Proud Boys, but not racist pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're not racist. They're just
pieces of shit.
they're just pieces of shit.
Oh, how many pieces of shit?
It'd be weird if they were like the
No.
Proud Boys, just not pieces of shit. They're just
What movie is
racist.
it?
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore. It's like, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Like the Proud Boys, but they're not pieces of shit. They're actually just
They're like
No.
super nice
they're
racists.
the cool racists.
Yeah.
What? What?
Me and Sam.
We're in a really stupid joke right now.
Yeah. Sounds pretty great.
Yeah, Dr. Retarded is this guy that I went to college with that me and Jason played softball with for a long time too. What was it? Eat, pray, queef.
Jason,
Every time I
is
see
your
something from
laptop
that dude,
Facebook,
it cracks me up.
right? Yes. Okay.
Man, every once in a while I have a tweet that I'm like, this is definitely going to go viral. And the one I had recently was the one with Ray Liotta and the chicks from the Today Show. Where it's like,
That's really good.
my Pornhub algorithm is all wrong. Because it did look like a thumbnail.
Because he's like,
Yeah. And they're like sniffing his neck.
yeah.
Ew.
And then you see people who have like 4,000 likes, and it's like some dumb, like it's not even funny at all.
It's not even
in
funny
any
at all.
way.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck, man?
No, me and you, we're funny on Twitter.
I'm funny.
I know, you are funny on Twitter.
I know what recognizes are funny.
No. Well, you know what? It's not the quantity of the likes, it's the quality of the likes.
That's right. If your friends are liking, that's all
It's
that
like,
matters.
if I got you to laugh, Sam. If
You
gotta
jokers
throw
can
me-
justify it any old way you want to, okay? It just sounds like you motherfuckers just want to get some love. Y'all ain't getting it. Hello!
Whatever.
Seriously.
Let's just call it for what it is, people.
Somebody's mean.
Yeah, I know. Why is he picking on us? Why is he picking on the funny ones?
Hey, I'm pretty fucking funny.
I was about to say, y'all act like I ain't funny, motherfucker.
Yeah, but me and Sam are talking about our non-wrestling.
I'm funny outside of wrestling.
What the fuck?
Do you have a non-wrestling Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's drill. Holy shit!
Oh, you are funny, man. You are funny as fuck, man.
Right.
I like,
mine
I like that one about hating toilets, but I need it.
mine was a non-wrestling. It was mostly wrestling because that's Twitter. But mine was just whatever. I was using it for work and stuff, and then I linked up with you guys, and it just became my wrestling.
No, I have a couple separate. Well, like my BFR Bill one's only wrestling.
I have another one, but I don't use it.
I use my other one probably more often. I only use the wrestling one when a wrestling thought pops into my head.
Why don't you tell all your other followers to follow you wrestling?
You'll break 100 at that point.
I don't. It's just no.
Do we need to get you a billboard?
I don't want it.
But we want.
I want to keep it separate.
No, we want you breaking 100 before the year's out. That's my
I
goal.
don't give a fuck. I got 260 on my regular one.
If you don't break 100 by the end of the year, I get to keep you.
No.
Oh, I thought he was going to agree to it. He's like hesitating for a second. I'm like,
I'm ready, Sam.
yeah, we can do this, Sam.
Here we go.
Tonight on the Man from Ringside podcast, we have your WWE TLC recap. We have your Ring of Honor final battle recap. The Demands decided to shake everything up this week on WWE television. That and a whole bunch more tonight on the Man from Ringside podcast.
He said shake up.
That's not bad. They did say shake up. This at 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Marks, and welcome to the Band from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Job Riggle. And to my right, as always, we have, not as always, but for 2 weeks in a row, we have Murray the Murray Man. Murray, what's going on, Murray?
More than 2 weeks. I've been here for a while, but I just haven't been in Zach's seat.
Yeah, well, that's why I
He's
said
like
to my
co-pilot.
right, as always.
Or right. Yeah.
It was to my right, as always. We miss you again, Zach.
We do
2
miss
weeks
you.
in a row,
We
poor
do.
bastard. I am going to see him Saturday for Christmas. But how you doing, Murray?
I'm doing great. I have
You can come to Christmas too, I guess.
Oh,
He said, I guess.
we get invited to Christmas, but not to any of the restaurants that sponsor us. So
Yeah, go to the break.
I'm doing great. Yet again, we're not. I mean, if you're listening to this as we post it audio wise, clearly you won't know this. But for next week, and anybody who's actually watching, we are live on all of our social medias at the moment.
Every
Facebook,
single week, guys.
Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, yada yada. We're all over the place. BFR Pod, Band from Ringside, everywhere else. Friends of BFR. Am I talking about the shirts?
Yeah, talk about the shirt.
Okay,
With the
so-
shirts.
If you didn't know, we have tons of shirts, not tons, but 3 different designs at the moment, and they're all on ProWrestlingTees.com. We got the BFR 314.
Great stocking stuffer.
We got the
Sam I Am is wearing one
Yeah.
right now.
God damn, Sam. That's about to say, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
So yeah, we've got 3 different designs up there right now. They're available for you to purchase and wear with nothing else but the shirt if you want, whatever
Yeah.
combination you want to do.
Bring them in for your lady.
Yeah,
And what about the YouTube channel?
Yeah, so the YouTube channel is still going strong. We're getting subscribers every day. We're hoping to
Banged
get
up
more.
with BFR.
Banged Up is our first real segment that we've been pushing. We got more to come. We also subscribe to it, like it, share it with your friends. Talk about how it's your favorite thing in the world.
And-
It is.
And to his right, as always,
Go ahead.
we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
Allow us to dust off the good book of Band for Ringside, volume 86, chapter 3, verse 14, and the good smart saying hashtag Move the Heels. It's all good, baby. I just want to kind of piggyback on Murray's promo aspect. Power Slam TV or PowerSlamTV.com. We are partnering with them. They've given us a coupon good for 1 free month of streaming service. If you go to the coupon code and type in all capital letters, BAND, BANNEDFREE, all one word, you will get a free month of Power
1 free
Slam
month,
TV. And
I've already started watching.
it's literally any indie restaurant,
112 independent wrestling promotions around the world.
4,000 hours that they say that they have ready to stream at your perusal. So once again, PowerSlamTV.com. Use the code, get you a free month of independent wrestling.
Yeah, and put that money in our pockets because we are making tons of money doing this podcast, obviously. No, actually, this is just one thing. They offered us the same thing that they're offering you guys. You get 1 month of
Free streaming service with 112 promotions
PowerSlam.tv.
around the world. And when I say around the world, I mean around the world. Spain, Ireland, United States, you name it, it's probably out there for you.
Those are all places in the world. Wakanda. Anywhere you want to watch this program.
Nobody knows about Wakanda.
No, they
Wakanda
did. There was a whole movie about it. Actually, in 2018. Do you guys believe Black Panther came out in 2018? That seems like 2 years ago. That seems like a really long fucking time ago that Black Panther came out. We're coming at you from the exquisite Shock City Studios in beautiful St. Louis, Missouri. We got Sam the Mauler Mall, as previously mentioned, turning the knobs.
Mr. Perfect's in the house.
We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're missing Zach. Like I said earlier, before we get too far into it, we talked to a sponsor that sold tacos, that delicious Korean Mexican fusion food that you never knew that you needed in your life until you had it. They have brick and mortar places in the U City Loop in St. Louis, Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, Chesterfield, Missouri. 2 food trucks driving around St. Louis speak every day. Go get yourself some Soul Taco. They have that spicy pork burrito, guys. They got the chicken tacos there. Well, you can get either protein with either one. But I'm telling you guys, if you haven't had it yet, go get it. It is not, we're not putting on airs here. We're not telling you that we don't like it like we usually do with WWE. We're saying that Soul Taco is actually good. And then we also have JJ Twiggs Pizza on Southampton. It's a great place to go watch a game. It's a great place to go take your family. They have awesome thin crust or double-decker pizzas there. I know that it is a franchise place that can make up its own menu. And JJ Twiggs has JJ Twiggs. So if you haven't been to the one in South City, I totally recommend it. It's part of our Southampton Mafia, like we like to say. They've been a sponsor, not day 1-ish, but day 2-ish pretty much. So please give them the love. Go and check it out. Let's get to our 3 counts. ACB.
Like we do in chronological order around these parts, we're going to start with the ROH show, Final Battle on Friday nights at the Hammerstein Ballroom, one of their main strongholds, if you will. For
I'd love to go see a show there.
Yeah,
awesome.
that looks great. I mean, it's such an intimate setting. I would love to be there at least one time. That's a point. Main event, the ROH show was a little surprising. It was the Young Bucks, SCU,
Kazarian and Scorpio
Scorpio
Sky.
Sky. Yeah,
for
thank
that
you.
night, yeah.
It was probably one of the hard, if not the best match. Goes end up going over there through the match. You kind of had a curtain call, kind of the Bug, Hangman Page, Marty Skrull, anyone with the elite, related to the elite. They brought in SCU, brought in Christopher Daniels, and basically said that everybody is all elite at this point, and they will see us sooner versus later. So it looks like all elite wrestling is starting to become more of a reality, but obviously time will tell. From that point, you had Jay Lethal versus Cody Rhodes. Jay Lethal won in a okay match, not good, not great. It was okay, maybe a little long for my liking, but neither here nor there. Hangman Page and Jeff Cobb for the television title. Jeff Cobb goes over here, but once again, Hangman Page is everything that I keep telling people that he is, and then some. I think he held up very well against Jeff Cobb, and sooner or later, he's going to have gold around his waist. I can see it coming. I just can't tell you when or where.
So all those AEW guys went out on their back the way that they're supposed to go because it looks like AEW is a thing, and we can get to AEW later, which I'd like to get to. I will say Cody did the best job that he could have, the way that you're supposed to in wrestling, which before the match they were saying, "We love you, Cody." And he says, if you really loved me, or if I really loved you back, I'd be at the Madison Square Garden show," which got mega heat for him. Hangman Page went out on his back. Jeff Cobb won. Christopher Daniels, Fallen Angel, lost in what they said was going to be his last match.
So
versus Marty Skrull. And then Bully Ray came out and gave him a low blow while he was taking his curtain call, which was a nice touch.
That match was overbooked with him and Flip Gordon, but it told us a story and it completed the story. Okay, even though you brought in Sandman, you brought in all kind of outside guys.
Right, seeing Sandman was definitely a surprise.
Yeah, but I mean,
but Sandman had been part of the story
to begin with, so it was just now we've completed the story, cherry on top of the cake. Now, both guys can go on. Flip Gordon has gone over. He can go his way. Bully Ray can do Sirius XM radio.
Bully Ray, he did what you're supposed to do as an older wrestler, which is he got tons of heat. And then ultimately Flip Gordon went over in the end, and he made Flip Gordon a star in the ROH universe. No doubt.
Idea. Novel fucking idea.
I know. Isn't it weird how that works? I'll tell you what.
See, the veteran puts over
when I first met Jason Bell, and this is probably 15 years ago, he was bitching about how Undertaker wouldn't put anybody over at WrestleMania. And he bitched about that until Undertaker finally put somebody over. And then he bitched about Undertaker putting over Lesnar.
Thank you. It's the wrong guy. It's not saying I've been waiting for this for so long, and this is the payoff.
Lethal versus Cody, I don't think it was too long. I think it was about right for a big match. That's a title match. I think the only reason it didn't go on last is because, man, it's tough to follow a ladder death match, which was the Briscoes versus SCU versus the Young Bucks.
They
did
it
some
right.
Insane spots.
Yeah, they did that right. Where this is, I know it's for the world title, and I get that, and the world title should usually be the last match. I wouldn't have wished that upon anybody to follow that ladder war match. That was absolutely insane. You had color the way you were supposed to have it. You had crazy spots. You had the guy that the team that I thought should have gone over.
I think Kazarian is too old to be having that much color. So,
Scorpio Sky did great in his first main event spot.
Man, it was a spot fest.
It was a spot fest, but it's supposed to be a spot fest.
There is a place for spot fest. They are fun.
And that was the place.
That was a fun spot match.
Okay.
The biggest spot of that match to me was when, I think you said it was Nick Jackson. I can't tell the Jacksons apart, but Nick Jackson went through a table from the ladder in the middle of the ring.
Over
head
the top
first,
roll.
Face first. I
don't know about
table.
that. I don't know if he went face first, but I
rewatched it a couple times. Either way,
that or the slingshot stunner onto the table. Either or spot was good. The Matt Taven spot was crazy because, like you said, I think that guardrail is a little too close to the ring. But
yeah, the Taven or the Dalton Castle or the Taven spot against Dalton Castle definitely looked painful. Maybe the second most painful looking spot of the weekend, but we're getting to TLC here in a minute.
Oh shit.
There was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jonathan Gresham was a match that I know that a lot of people think that might have been boring, but there is a place in the card that's especially that large where you're going to have two submission specials. It was right in the middle. And I'm a big Sabre Jr. mark.
You're welcome.
And I said a long time ago, I'm done apologizing for being wrong about him at the beginning.
I'm not done hearing it.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus John Gresham was awesome, and the pin that Sabre Jr. put on Gresham without using his hands and standing on the top of his head was also very innovative. And he came out and got lots of heat. He created lots of heat at the beginning of the match by because there was no storyline. Just smacked him across the face, and then you know who the heel is.
Right? That's like, give me 30 seconds.
That's pro wrestling. But that was ROH Final Battle. For my money, I've watched, probably 8 or 9 ROH pay-per-views front to back. I'd give that one a B+.
It was really solid, and especially I watched the weekly shows and then watched the pay-per-views. The weekly shows kind of chop it up because it's only oh shit. The weekly shows go on. I love you, Becky, by the way. The weekly shows break them up into the hour, but then you got the one pay-per-view that was 4 hours, and it made the whole company look more complete. It felt more complete versus like the 3 hours that you get with Raw. You basically see everybody, and then you get the 2 hours with SmackDown. You see everybody, so you don't get to miss anyone. You know what I'm saying? The ROH just does a little better with what they have to work with than WWE. At least in that area.
Right on, and that's going to bring it to our 2 counts. What you got, Murray, man?
TLC was this past Sunday, and we're probably going to talk about who won the predictions later, right?
I can give it out right now. So out of a possible 13 points, there was a tie for third place this week, which was me and Zach both got 10 points. Murray got 9.
Woo!
JCB got 8. And Sam got 7, which I think is pretty much that's the handicap for somebody that's never watched wrestling but only listens to a bunch of idiots talk about it, is that they only predict slightly worse than the people who actually watch it.
I'll painstakingly go through this. I've got 8 freaking points.
But just so I'm putting it out there because my buddy Top Hat always
What's up, Top Hat?
He wants us to throw out the points. Is that JCB is at a total of 66. Job Riggle, that's me. I'm at a total of 65. Zach is at a total of 64, so it's tied up top.
Whoa. 66 is more than 64, correct?
66 is JCB.
Okay.
Joe's got 65.
Okay.
Zach has 64.
Okay, so I'm waiting to see where this tie portion comes in because they're all different numbers.
I know. I said it's tight up top.
Oh.
I said it's tight up top.
Okay, but I'm still winning, right?
Sam's at 54, and Murray's at a pitiful 60.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so what you think of the pay-per-view?
To be honest, man, I thought it was pretty decent. That a lot of the changes that happened, which we'll talk about later on, that they said they're going to switch things up, they kind of started really kind of playing on that a little bit, I felt like, on TLC. I do want to start with the fact that it was bullshit that the Cruiserweight Championship match was not in the middle of the card instead of on the pre-show, because it was fantastic, as usual. Buddy Murphy went away with the win.
There were certainly matches that could have gone on the pre-show that
absolutely.
would have been way less good.
Like Natalia's table match.
That was the one I was thinking of.
It wasn't an awful match, but it definitely should have been on the pre-show. So, Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy won again, so he walked away with the title. But it was a killer. It was a killer match. Then there was the ladder kickoff match between Elias and Bobby Lashley, which I think everyone was surprised was on the kickoff show.
Yeah.
I had high hopes that I was going to really enjoy that match, and I just didn't. I was so but I will say that did probably help me get into the rest of the pay-per-view that much more. Because after that match, I was like, okay, this is going to suck. And then that, but...
Well, let's go to the big matches.
Yeah, okay, so...
What was your favorite favorite match of the night?
Favorite match of the night was probably I was most entertained. Not my favorite match by mistake, but I was mostly entertained by the Baron Corbin segment. I thought that match was actually pretty entertaining. I had a lot of fun watching all those guys come out and get their revenge. It was cool. It was cool. So that wasn't my favorite, but I definitely loved that spot. My favorite match was probably, I'm not going to lie, it was probably Daniel AJ. Because that was epic.
So I think there were two matches that were the matches of the night. It was Daniel Bryan versus AJ, which, for my money, was a legit 4-star match. I mean, it doesn't have to be New Japan to be 4 or 5 stars. That was a great match. My favorite match of the night, though, and I was saying this to Jason earlier, like, it wasn't that long ago. Like, we were doing the podcast when the first women's match headlined the pay-per-view. It was Charlotte versus Sasha.
The good old days.
And this
Is that
is
Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell. And this is less. This is probably 13 months after when that happened last year. So when we were talking about Asuka, Charlotte, and Becky being a match of the year contender, might not necessarily be your match of the year, but it's a contender because that was the most brutal women's match we've ever seen, and I don't want to be one to have to qualify it with being a women's match because that was one of the best matches. That was one of the best TLC matches I've ever seen.
It was intense.
That was the drama was there, the storytelling was there, the bumps were there for sure. Charlotte spearing Asuka through the barricade at that one point. What
Out of nowhere, too.
looked rough.
Yeah.
And
Well executed.
and Becky, it did look like there was a bit of a botch at one point where Becky did the thing off the ladder where she was supposed to go through. Or I think Asuka and Charlotte were supposed to roll up the table, and Charlotte didn't move, and it looked pretty bad. JCB, what do you think about the pay-per-view overall?
Overall, that was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was somewhere in the gray. I'm sorry. I just got to take a little exception to the Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin booking. I get it. Baron Corbin's down. Well, Braun's down to one arm, so you basically are back into a corner. Not much to do, but okay. Do it one time. Don't do it a second time on Raw. I guess that's where my problem lies. It's
not what we're talking about, though.
Okay, but look, I just corrected myself. Back up for 30 seconds. Jesus Christ. Lord. AJ Daniel Bryan was good. The women were good. Seth and Dean needed a stipulation, but that's why it was Raw, because you built it up like it's brothers. Okay, make it some sort of stipulation. You gave the stipulation to Elias and Lashley when you didn't need it. They don't need it. They haven't even gotten to that point where a stipulation matters. Dean and Seth needed something else to elevate the violence. If you're going to build this up to make it this big of a deal, it was the third to last match on the card. So that's basically saying it's important. Right. Then make it important. It's for the Intercontinental Championship. That's a start, but make it a ladder match. Make it a chairs match. Make it a TLC match. Make it I don't give a fuck match.
The intensity of that match did not match. No pun intended. Did not match the intensity of the feud.
Right.
Agreed.
No, exactly.
Agreed.
Well, that's I even said in the.
And they're probably going to spread it out over 3 pay-per-views. We know,
don't go rest.
Daniel Bryan.
Don't do that. No, I don't want to see that shit.
But
I don't either.
When Daniel Bryan does that reverse roll up against AJ Styles, that means that we know it's not the other.
Yeah.
They're going back at each other again. But it didn't. And maybe they were being. Maybe those guys got together planning this match, and they said, this is going to be a trilogy. We know that we're going to be here. We know we're going to be Royal Rumble. We know we're going to be somewhere else. And so they're going to tell one story one time, one story the other time, and one story at the third pay-per-view. That's happened before. That's happened with Styles and Cena. I mean, that happens all the time in these big feuds. So I'm reticent to criticize the match too bad. It's like when people used to get mad at Mad Men episodes because it didn't forward the plot long enough. It's like, motherfucker, you're watching Mad Men. It's like you're not watching Mission Impossible. It might take a few weeks for it to play out. So let's not get too mad about it.
Okay, I'm not going to get too mad.
It was a boring match, though.
It was the only reason it was boring is because it's two reasons. One, you didn't have the stipulation on it, and two, it just became behind AJ and Daniel Bryan, who basically had, like you said, a 4-star match. Anybody would have been in a rough spot where
They should have
switched it.
They should have switched those
Where
two.
that match comes somewhere in the middle.
Right.
You give me some bullshit Elias Lashley, where that spot was, so that I go to the bathroom, let me get my merch and do all the other shit.
Natalia Ruby Riott.
Fine.
Yeah, right.
Put it there, and you'd have got a better result out of it.
Well, in the TLC thread on for BFR, I even mentioned it's too bad we're in a PG era because if they would have just put some color in that match too, by the end of it, if
it wouldn't have seemed as slow. It wouldn't have seemed as slow.
It would have made it seem that it would have added that little bit of intensity.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, I mean, I started this off by saying, Jason, what was your favorite part of the paper? You proceeded to tell me your least favorite part of the paper. Now, what was your favorite part of the paper?
Probably the main event. Daniel Bryan, AJ is a very close second, but when you have the ladies basically main eventing a major pay-per-view, and they went out and performed the way they did, it's kudos that way.
Plus, you got the Ronda Rousey coming in, which is...
Her match wasn't awful either.
Her match was not awful.
Come on, man. Y'all too nice, man. No, stop it. Stop. Y'all too nice, man. We've seen this before.
But at this point,
so she did a Superman punch. So what?
She did more than a Superman punch. But my thing is, I'm having fun watching her progress.
I agree with
Murray.
Murray.
So she got to smash somebody. Let it be Nia.
I agree with Murray. That match told a pretty good story. I also thought that the Mysterio Randy Orton match was better than I thought it was.
Oh, man. God damn. So let me get this straight. Hold on a second.
Yeah, when they had the 4 chairs lined up, I thought the ending of the match was really good. Listen, you don't have to hate everything.
I'm not saying. So let me get this straight. Just for the record. For the record, Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton was a better match than Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
I didn't say that. I just said I was pleasantly surprised. Hey, listen. Put this on my tombstone. Expect little, be pleasantly surprised.
Fuck that, man. Give me what I want, guys.
No, you just have to go.
Rare filet.
You have to go into this shit not expecting very much, and then to be pleasantly surprised. Like you're expecting this shit to be good.
Damn that. No, I expect you to be entertained.
You've been watching wrestling long enough to know you're not going to be entertained.
Why can't I be entertained? What the fuck what's WWE stand for?
Bulk of the line.
Ha! My man.
No, bring it to So, our 3 count is Raw started off with, there were a lot of rumors going around the internet thinking that we knew that Vince was going to be on Raw.
For sure.
And there were some rumors going around that Vince was going to come over and do some sort of ceremonial handoff to Hunter, to Triple H, saying that he is going to be the one that's going to be in charge of this shit from now on. So you had Vince come out at the beginning of Raw with no chance in hell, and that still makes everybody pop.
Of course,
it still makes everybody pop.
We all hate him. We fucking pop for him.
I know. I think it's so funny that everybody used to boo Roman Reigns, but when Vince come out, they would bow. They would all bow. It's like he made Roman Reigns. So then you have Stephanie come out, then you have Triple H come out. I'm like, oh, yeah, they might be doing this. Like that would be really cool if they did a ceremonial passing of the torch. If Vince is going to spend all this time working on the XFL or whatever the case may be. Not to steal a line from Jason.
Sure.
And then Shane's music hit, and I was like, what the fuck are they doing? So you have the 4, McMahon, Helmsley, the faction. You have them out there, and they give this vague edict that they're going to start making stuff better, and they understand that they've sucked for a little while, so now they're going to do everything they can to make sure it's not suck.
It's Baron Corbin's fault why it's creative team why this all sucks.
Yeah.
So they bring Baron Corbin out. Baron Corbin, they basically same thing that they did the night before at TLC, where Baron Corbin takes a bunch of guys' finishers. I don't mind having a kayfabe reason why everything sucked. I mean, it doesn't bury Baron Corbin. If anything, it makes Baron Corbin. Like, he's a real player now. Like, he's not actually getting buried. In fact, I think he's in the main event next week at Raw. What bothers me the most is that you bring the McMahons out, and the people who are actually kayfabe and shoot style, maybe not Shane, but kayfabe and shoot style, they're the ones that have made everything wrong. Like, even in kayfabe, Stephanie's the one that gave Baron Corbin the job.
Right.
And in shoot style, we know that Vince is the one pulling the strings, and that Vince has rewritten a whole bunch of Raw episodes in the last few weeks, which has made it suck so bad. So, I know there's lots of people out there saying, you guys didn't shake it up enough. This is like the same old Raw. They had Revival go over. They threw out Sanity and the Good Brothers the next night. And I know that it doesn't look like anything's changed. I have two things to say. One thing being, it might take a couple weeks for it to look like it actually changed. Of course. Now, however, if they would have came out and said, we're giving you Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey tonight, that would have popped everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'd be talking about something totally different on this podcast.
Of course.
If they would have come out and said, we're stripping Brock Lesnar, no more absentee champions, we're stripping Brock Lesnar.
That would have been the king.
Let's have a tournament.
Let's treat our championships like champions.
And have a tournament, and whoever wins the tournament can face Braun Strowman at Royal Rumble or something like that. That would have popped the crowd. But it might take a little while, and that would have been a short-term solution. The other thing being is that they might not be actually trying to fix anything. They might be trying to think, how can we use this as an angle? Because they took away the GMs in both Raw and SmackDown. Now there's no GMs anymore. Now it's just the McMahons in charge of it, which doesn't seem like less of the same. It seems like more of the same because everybody knows that the McMahons are in charge anyway. So I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop and see how is this an angle to see if the McMahons take over even more.
Well, I mean, when it comes to as far as being an angle, it obviously could go either way, like you said. They've done it before, so it's not like it's above them to do it.
Certainly not.
One thing I read earlier today.
I mean, you think Triple H is going to have a match at WrestleMania?
Yeah,
of course.
Oh yeah. No, there's no. I don't know what it would be. I have no preference.
Right.
Clearly,
but
but he will.
Right.
He's always going to until he's going to. But
sorry, earlier today.
I was reading an article earlier today. Now, who knows if this is true? This is us getting excited about things that they kind of throw little pieces of out there every once in a while. Gets excited, but you mentioned the whole Brock Lesnar stripping him of the title. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, but they are apparently supposed to be putting the Rockets back on thing. They're saying they want to throw them back into the Universal title mix because this part of this shakeup is to start giving us quote unquote what we want, and that's one of the biggest things. So that
would be nice.
On your point though about,
but that's not ultimately what I'm looking for.
Well,
though.
no.
I'm not like what I'm worried about is like. The thing that pisses me off the most is not that they're pushing the wrong guys. It's that it's all booked like bullshit.
Yeah, they're not putting any effort into the story, telling us why they're doing it.
Right, it's the booking. It's not like they could put Finn Balor into a shitty angle going for 5 weeks tomorrow, and it would still suck.
Oh, I agree. But like you were saying though in the very beginning, as far as how long it'll take for these changes to start happening, whether it be a work or not, as part of the story, it's still probably going to all culminate, or however you say that word, at WrestleMania. I mean, it seems like they're trying to shake it, make it real spicy until WrestleMania. Then that's their reset button, obviously, for the next season.
But that's what they always do. They always shake it up right before WrestleMania.
But it also takes about every 10 years when they come out and say, we're going to shake things up and make a new WWE. And they do it every 10 years. This is probably that around that time.
JCB, shit on it.
Mark this date down. There's like 30 seconds of me being went silent because he was coughing on that. But he's correct. I'm going to take a little mini dump on it. Many. I mean, you guys kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but that's okay. I agree with
My
you.
feeling on it?
Well, yeah, but
Why's that?
well, I'm not going to exactly. You said it. It's not going to be in 2 weeks. All this is going to do is just get us into 2019, and then they can decide what they want to do when they want to do it. Okay, that's great. I'm not going to worry about these next couple weeks. I'll wait and hold judgment until after the fact. Talk to you in 2019. Finn Balor, I got to believe that when I see it. I mean, there's been too many chances where he's had a chance to go over, or you had a chance to elevate. You didn't do it. You can name a ton of guys like that. Hashtag free Shinsuke. You know what I'm saying? That's the next one that comes out of my head. I mean, it's a lot of things that they're going to have to do to prove that this is not just lip service. For me, it's lip service. I got to see it to believe it. I just got to see it.
I mean, piggybacking on Murray's point though, like it does seem like the shakeup started kind of the night before. They did put the belt on Asuka. And Asuka's one person that we've been bitching about for a long time, not having the push that she probably deserved.
Okay,
and right
but
now, and you could see it in that match, by the way. You could see it that Asuka was energized and Asuka gave it her all.
Okay, but here's my problem with this. How did she win the title?
Right.
Ronda Rousey
Right.
came in and interfered. And I'm
No,
not,
you
and I'm
can't
not,
worry
no,
about that.
yeah, you can.
No, you
Because that takes away from the moment.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does a little bit.
It does,
does a
because
little.
that is how she eventually gets the win. When Ronda Rousey pushes that ladder and both Charlotte and Becky go outside the ring, that frees Asuka up. You can roll your eyes all you want to. It doesn't change the fact that that's what happened. That is the catalyst.
If
The
Ronda,
end result is Asuka wins. The catalyst is Ronda Rousey
now
gets
put it
interference.
like this: if Ronda hadn't come out and interfered in that match, they wouldn't have pushed off Becky and Charlotte. One of the two of Becky or Charlotte would have had that title.
Kayfabe stuff?
Kayfabe stuff.
I mean, maybe.
But then because Asuka was way out, laying under the table somewhere.
But let's
You
just,
guys can't have it every which way.
I'm not asking it for every
Oh, I
which
get it.
way.
Like, do you want Asuka to have the belt?
I like it.
You've been pushing for Asuka to have the belt
No,
Yeah, I want it.
I wanted to have it.
for months, if
Yeah.
not a year.
Okay,
So-
and ultimately, when I saw it today, I still had a good feeling. It's like, okay, cool, she won the title, but we could have did it a different way. You didn't even have to get Ronda Rousey involved. I understand why you did it, but you didn't have to.
That's why I called it bullshit at first. Once I thought about it, it worked.
It works because it's long-term booking that WWE doesn't do very well. Okay, I give you that.
Can I make an early prediction? And this will bring us into our odds and ends. And the early prediction is that Asuka defends her SmackDown title at WrestleMania against Nikki Cross.
Really? They're going to put Nikki Cross in the I mean, I'm not against that at all. I think that's a badass match.
I mean, if we're going to have Ronda versus Charlotte versus Becky, and we're going to build it up to WrestleMania, which is,
I'll take that.
a scant 3 months away.
Yeah.
So, and
Nikki
they,
Cross and Asuka did have a really good last one.
They did.
right.
Because
So I
Nikki's
would-
fucking damn good.
You know what?
I would not have a problem.
You know what? That's going to do it for our 3 counts. Tell us about F&B.
F&B Eatery on 3453 Southampton, part of our Southampton Mafia, like my man Bill says. Every time I look up, we're doing something new. They're closed today just because I think, like most people, they're passing the Midwest germs around and getting people sick or whatever the case may be, or they're sick. Ultimately, you need to just go in, check them out. Tell them JCB sent you. Like I said, 3453 Southampton. What am I supposed to say something else too? Oh, the kimchi breakfast sandwiches. I had one the other day. Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
I went there it was Saturday morning, like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Don't ask me why I was up that early. But anyway, I decided to take a stroll on it, and it was absolutely amazing. And this is one of those things where, especially with the new chef involved, it's one of those where it's always going to feel like there's something new. Besides the usual standbys, where you do have the barbecue beef burger, you do have the triple cheeseburger, the hot dogs, you name it, they probably have it. Cold beers for the adults, sodas for the kiddies. Check them out. 3453 Southampton F&B Eateries on JC Station. Go right here, Sam.
Well, I am going to say that a couple people on Facebook are finally chatting it up with us.
Stop! Jump back!
Yeah. Justin Sampson.
Yeah, go ahead.
He had a couple things to say. He also
bet.
said, Jason, you can't always get what you want every night.
Shit, I don't get it. I don't get it anytime.
Also, Micah
I'm a
said,
black man in Missouri.
Micah said, y'all too nice.
Thank you.
And what else?
That's your new catchphrase.
Yeah, you're going to get the BFR y'all too nice things. Yeah.
Done and done.
But I'll do the this thing and cross out nice and put something that's the opposite. Nope.
Now, I say nice, it's got to be like naughty. So, I mean, what's the opposite? I mean, naughty nice. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Right here, so. All right, so we have some call-ups that they announced the other day, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on it. We have Heavy Machinery, Nikki Cross, the aforementioned Nikki Cross, Lars Sullivan, EC3, and the gal, what's her name? I can't remember her name. What?
Oh, the
Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, who is a Vince gal if I've ever seen her.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys' thoughts on who's coming up and who do you expect to do the best or the worst?
I'm excited for Heavy Machinery just because I feel like they're ready, sort of. I always feel like the NXT guys aren't ever quite ready when they're NXT.
Not that good.
Right. But I feel like if they're going to start shaking things up, let's be positive here, Jason. That
I'll just pass on this.
that hopefully they start paying attention to the tag teams. They really start looking at that. EC3 surprised the shit out of me. I didn't expect that one yet. I figured he was going to have a little more time down in NXT before bringing it up, but I don't hate it. I feel like he's going to be better on the main roster than he will be on NXT. And then Nick Cross, of course, I'm fine with that.
I heard a rumor that Lars Sullivan is they're going to put they're all except for Braun Strowman, who's big player like that. But I heard a rumor that Lars Sullivan is going to come up and beat Daniel Bryan. Jason, thoughts on the caller?
Since we're talking about Lars, we'll start with him. Ultimately, I'm not a fan. I think he's injury prone, and I think that's going to come up on the main roster, especially with all the travel. Heavy Machinery, they're going to be part of a tag team division that Vince ultimately doesn't care about, so it's hard for me to get excited about that. Plus, I think they need more time down the NXT brand. Lacey Evans, yeah, she looks the part, but once again, I think, well, I'm just sorry, you asked.
They haven't done
Okay,
much with her
the slam dunk is Nikki
Why don't you
Cross.
start off who's going to be
The
best?
slam dunk is Nikki Cross.
I agree.
She can do it.
Yeah.
As long as you don't mess with her character, you bring up the same NXT character
Oh, yeah.
that you are going to hopefully bring up on the main roster. Nikki Cross is the slam dunk.
I got
EC3 should have been on that main roster
the slam
from the
dunk.
jump.
He's the slam dunk.
He should be a slam dunk too. Now,
Now,
when
what's weird about him, I still think he should
EC3.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Son.
those are your slam dunks. Lacey Evans, she needs more time. I think she's gonna struggle with promos and she's gonna struggle in ring. She needs more time. Lars Sullivan's gonna be hurt all the time. I think if he's gonna be Dan Bryan's muscle, great. Make Dan Bryan champ for as long as you want to. Go into WrestleMania. That's the way you want to do it. That's the way you do it.
I think Snitsky's about as apropos of a comparison as you can have with Lars Sullivan.
Now he's very Snitsky-esque.
Or Heinrich. Who's the one that rakes Michael Cole? Heinrich.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So, those are all, and Tyson Tomko. I mean, Mason Ryan. I mean,
They're all in the same,
WWE's history, the WWE network is littered with corpses of these big guys that come up that Vince loves for about 6 months and then abandons after a while.
There's not much you can
other than Brock Lesnar.
Well, Brock Lesnar
Brock
is
Lesnar
not
is
the
not-
typical. Yeah,
he's
he's
not
not
the-
typical.
I mean, and Big Show was way bigger than all these guys.
Right.
I mean,
Lars Sullivan just looks like a big guy that
Even
can
Braun
just
Strowman-
do some things.
I think that Braun Strowman has more potential than the rest of these guys because I think that Braun Strowman had some levity to him. But even then, his ceiling is Big Show.
I get it because you want to bring in new blood, but then you already have a
I
problem
mean,
where
Andre the Giant hit his ceiling and then he died. So, like, everybody remembers him being great. If he wouldn't have died, he would have ended up being like Big Show and be like, why is this old guy still hanging around all the
he
time?
was
flipping
declining
faces?
on the backside.
And
of his
that's no knock on Andre the Giant. Because on The Princess Bride, Andre the Giant was great. Obviously, it's a great movie.
He was a bad
But
shape,
these big guys, and Brock Lesnar's not the same thing. Because Brock Undertaker, more than anything, is the exception that proves the rule.
I can agree with that. That's what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
Because
Even going into his 50s, he's still able to do most things that 50-year-old guys should be doing.
right, I think EC3 is the slam dunk. I think EC3's gimmick, the 1%er gimmick, makes more sense on the main roster. Nikki Cross is also great. EC3 is great, and I think EC3 is going places. A couple other things I wanted to talk about. So in this shakeup, they did bring up the Good Brothers Insanity all in the same match. Good Brothers hadn't been on TV for 4 months.
Now that's ridiculous.
They let him talk too.
Man,
And
y'all
they
be
made a joke
ashamed
about
of
how they hadn't been on
Yeah.
TV in 4 months. That is kind of ridiculous. They did end Raw with an 8-woman gauntlet match, which is different than how Raw usually ends. And, I mean, by far, a lot of the 8 women in there weren't very memorable matches. Nandy versus Sasha at the end was memorable, though. That was good. Bailey versus somebody at the very beginning. What did they put out at the very beginning? Good. It was good, though. It was different. It made Raw seem different than all the other Raws.
Alicia Fox was first.
Okay, that's not what I was talking about. Although Alicia Fox's finisher is badass. She does it well, too. It looks like we're getting a 3-man feud between Dolph, Finn Balor, and Drew McIntyre, which I don't really hate. I wish that was happening closer to WrestleMania because I think that would be a good opener for WrestleMania.
Do you think that Velveteen Dream is Alicia Fox?
Do I think they're the same person?
Yeah.
And
No, Velveteen Dream's a little.
don't make me come over there. Don't make me come over there.
I mean,
No,
Hardy
it's not
versus.
even close.
Okay, we had in the main event of SmackDown, even though it was the typical SmackDown main event of a tag team, 2 faces versus 2 heels. Faces and the heels was Daniel Bryan and Almas. And Almas is one of the top 10 workers in the company, I would say. And versus AJ and Mustafa Ali, who looks like they're going to put some time into Mustafa Ali because he got the clean pin on Daniel Bryan, which is fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like it looks like Mustafa Ali is a permanent part of SmackDown now going forward, which is exciting going forward.
Yeah, kudos to Mustafa Ali. I mean, between him, Cedric Alexander, Buddy Murphy, Drew Gulak, I think that's was the core of the 205 Live roster. Obviously, Mustafa Ali being called up, I think it's a well-deserved call-up.
Those 4 guys, though, he was in the last one. I thought that they would have given a push to. That makes me happy.
You know, I think, and we always kind of talk about it,
They're all great workers.
they're all great workers, but there's a serious lack of face characters in the WWE in general. Mustafa Ali will definitely slide in and become one of those face guys. He got the clean win on Daniel Bryan, so that could lead to a title match, maybe on SmackDown to start the new year. But it's a good push. It's a good start for SmackDown. But SmackDown wasn't the problem anyway.
SmackDown wasn't the problem anyway. Thoughts of Mustafa Ali making the main roster?
I think it's great. I have a little bit of it's just a little nitpick that I feel like he looks just like Seth Rollins, especially in his gear. great. He's an amazing worker. And Daniel Bryan is kind of playing this middle ground of the guy that's it right now, but also kind of playing that old school gotta get a guy over kind of thing.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of being a Brian being behind the scenes doing like, let me take the pin.
That's what I'm saying. He's still getting the guy over while he's on top. You know, it's awesome.
Great. All right, birthdays this week. We have Prima Cologne is 36. Only Lorcan, only 33. Luke Gallows, only 35. That blows me away.
That is crazy, man.
I know.
No
I thought
way.
for sure he was older than me. The Great Muda, R.I.P.
I
don't know.
don't
he's
think so.
56. Jamie Noble is 42.
Yeah.
Cassius Ono, a month younger than me, is a month younger than me is 39. And Rusev, here was the biggest thing I learned this week. Rusev's birthday is Christmas Day, which means Rusev Day is actually Christmas Day.
I gotta look that.
Therefore,
That's crazy.
Rusev is Jesus. So, Merry Christmas, Rusev. Hey, everybody. We know there's a lot of podcasts to listen to, so we appreciate the hell out of you listening to our podcast.
Yes,
For
sir.
Sam the Mauler Mall, for
That's perfect.
Shock
Check.
City Studios,
Check.
for Soul Taco,
Check.
for JJ Twigs, for
Check.
F&B Eatery,
Check.
for Zach, Two Beer Pullman.
Miss you, Zach.
I'll see you Saturday, brother. For Murray Murray,
Check.
for Jason Cornelius Bell, I
Merry
am
Christmas,
Bill
everybody.
Dagan. Everybody boo the heels.
Who needs a fan? I got me. Dude, I've got to verify that. That just blows my mind.
Shouldn't he like Rusev? Every time it said Rusev Day, he was just saying Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
It feels like it now. Rusev, Christ.
Those English cats look old as fuck.
I thought for sure it was